And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what? China. All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
Exactly. Nothing. Tell him, Pastor. Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue.
Imagine your reaction when you find yourself in a tribe where beak is beautiful. Well, welcome to the Ethiopian Bodhi tribe, where men compete to be the fattest in the village by drinking concoctions, which they claim is a mixture of blood and milk, while living in isolation for 6 months. Slim might be the big deal elsewhere, but for Ethiopia's Bodhi or men tribe, the bigger the better is the case. Ethiopia is a land of many cultures that have been preserved despite Western civilization. Along the lower Omo Valley River in southern Ethiopia resides one of these kinds, the Bodhi tribe. The Bodhi people are neighbors to the Mercy tribe. The Bodhi people are agriculturalists who still engage in trade by barter system. These pastoral people revere their cows. Their cows are so special to them that its blood together with fresh milk is a source of food for these people. Rather than kill the cows, they make a hole in one of its veins to get the blood out and close it back with clay. These animals are also used in certain ceremonies. Among the ceremonies is the peculiar New Year celebration. At the start of each year, the month of June in the Gregorian calendar, they hold the Kyle ceremony of fat men, to mark the New Year celebrations. The Kyle ceremony is a competition for men who are not married, which involves drinking the blood mixture. Here is how it works. Young men are selected and fed special meals and concoction for 6 months, and after that, they emerge to show off their newly engorged physiques and for a better winner to be chosen. The champion fat man is then feted as a hero for the rest of his life. The food comes in the form of a cow's blood and milk mixture, served regularly to the men by women from the village. The cows are sacred to the Bodhi tribe, so they are not killed for the purpose of the ritual. The blood is drawn by making a hole in a vein with a spear or an axe, and after that, they close it with clay. Because of the scorching temperatures, the men have to drink the 2-liter bowl of blood and milk quickly before it coagulates. But not everyone can handle drinking so much at speed, so they vomit. These are the ones that are disqualified. On the D-Day, the men design their bodies with clay and ashes before emerging from their huts for the walk to the spot where the ceremony will take place. This long walk seems torturous, thanks to the excess weight gain and protruding stomach. The ceremony involves spending long hours walking in a circle around a sacred tree, watched by the other men and helped by women who ply them with alcohol and wipe away the sweat. Once the fastest man has been chosen, the ceremony ends with the slaughter of a cow using a big sacred stone. Village elders will then inspect the stomach and the blood to find out if the winner's future will be a bright one or not. After the ceremony, the men's lives return to normal and most of them lose their enormous bellies after a few weeks of eating sparingly. And a few weeks later, the next generation of competitively fat body men will be chosen and the cycle will repeat. Becoming a fat man is the dream of every body kid because he will remain a hero for life even though his stomach gets back to normal.
Want to say peace and blessings to everyone. Want to say Shalom Lach, Mash Paka, which is peace, family, or is it well with you, family? That's what it actually means. So when you hear someone say Shalom, that is a salutation. That's asking, is it well with you? Right? So when I say Shalom Lach, Mash Paka, I'm actually asking, is it well with you, family? So I hope and pray that you guys had a blessed Shabbat. I hope you guys got the necessary and much needed rest. And the lesson that I did on this past Shabbat, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cameras that we actually record with, the professional cameras that we use. We're going to edit the film or edit the video so that way you have a cleaner presentation, and that way you can actually see what's on the screen when I do the teachings. All right. So I really appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. We got a lot to cover tonight because you guys, I'm sure you guys saw the topic here. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the topic inside the banner so that way you guys know exactly what we're going to discuss. So tonight we're going to discuss the overall topic: belly, calculated emasculation, right? Calculated emasculation. And that's going to be our discussion for tonight. So let me go ahead and let me modify. Oops. Let me do it right now. Oh, excuse me. Thought I had to yarn. My apologies. But let me go ahead and put this inside, get the ticker going. All right. So this is our discussion for tonight. And you guys know how I like to do it. We're going to do a playbook on this. But I like to teach. I don't like to take things from an angle as if we're gossiping, because a lot of times when situations happen, we can take on, without purposely doing it, some people indirectly began to take on the spirit of gossip. I'm not here to gossip, here to teach. And that's the whole purpose of the playbooks, which I am trying to get back in sync with that. A lot's been going on. A lot's been going on within the families within our assembly. So really been trying to help them navigate some of our family members within our assembly navigate through some of the things that they're dealing with in terms of with the coronavirus and the mandates and all those different things. So I've been preoccupied with those things. And then, of course, I have a household that the Most High has commanded me to facilitate, right, to make sure that I'm leading, as well as some other things that I'm working on. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started like how we normally would do. Let's go ahead and give some shout outs. And I'll drop the link down in the chat if anyone wants to jump in and be part of this discussion, because we got a lot to cover. So again, I'm going to deal with systematically, walk you through the emasculation of the man. We may have to break this up. Not may have to. We're going to have to break this up into two parts because it's a lot of information I'm going to share. So the first part, I want to show you the roles and responsibilities of a man and woman. I'm going to give proper clarity. Some of you guys probably caught this teaching that I did some of it live within our assembly. But for those that haven't or didn't have the opportunity to watch this lesson, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through. We're going to properly explain the forbidden fruit, man and woman's responsibility. And then from there, we're going to transition over to getting a better understanding of what emasculate, what that means to emasculate a man. And so those are some of the things we're going to cover tonight. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and give some shout outs to you guys. I want to start off with Yakoba, want to give shout outs. I'm going to say props, but want to give shout outs to you. Want to say peace and blessings. Something seems strange tonight. It's a lot. Actually, we're living in the day and time where there's a lot of strange things that are going on, a lot of strange things that are taking place, a lot of strange things that are being tolerated. And this is why we have to have our discernment. Our the spirit of discernment has to be up like never before. We have to sharpen that spirit of discernment. But there's a lot going on right now, especially if you understand the spiritual realm. All right. I want to say peace and blessings to Truth Talk with Shawnee. I want to say shalom to you, sis. And again, I'm going to drop the link inside the comment section as we progress into this lesson. So if you want to jump in, feel free, and others that are tuning in as well. So I want to say peace and blessings. I want to say peace and blessings to Elder. I want to say my brother right here, Brandon Brunson. I want to say peace and blessings. I want to say shalom or shalom to you. So peace and blessings to you as well. Appreciate you watching us tonight. Let's see here. Shara Yah. Want to say shalom to you. BDT. Want to say shalom to you. And I apologize. I don't want to butcher your name, but our sister here from Nigeria, I want to say peace and blessings to you. Please forgive me if I don't pronounce your name because I don't want to butcher your name. So you have to show me or tell me how to properly pronounce your name because I'm real grateful, but I don't want to disrespect you in any kind of way by not pronouncing your name correctly. So feel free to send me an email. The email is on the screen. And that way I could get a proper clarity of how to properly pronounce your name. So I appreciate you. Want to say shalom to you for watching, for supporting the channel. Let's see who else do we have here. Bernice Morris, want to say peace and blessings to you. GG, want to say peace and blessings to you as well. Jay Highstar, this is my buddy right here. Want to say peace and blessings to you, Doctor. Who else do we have here? Darnell Blackshear, want to say peace and blessings. Paul Sticks, want to say peace and blessings to you. Yes, those are Bodhi. That's the tribe called the Bodhi tribe over in Ethiopia. All right, so we'll touch on that, but I want to really focus on the imagery. For example, the bellies and also the things that they are doing to get those large bellies. And that's why part of this discussion is going to be the power of the belly, right? When we get to a certain point, I'm going to explain to you the Lil Nas and some of the other stuff. All right. So again, great question. But yes, they are called the Bodhi tribe. You can look them up. All right. Trodden the way. All right. I want to say shalom to you. And who else do we have here? Ivy Lamar. Want to say salama to you. Appreciate you for taking time out your schedule to tune in tonight. So again, we have a lot to cover. Who else do we have here? Want to say peace and blessings to Frugal Nurse Homestead. Want to say shalom to Major. Also shalom to Hannah Bithya. Who else do we have? Is Stephanie McMillan. Want to say peace and blessings to you. Bat Deya. Want to say peace and blessings to you. Who else do we have here? Ya Son. Want to say peace and blessings to you. Shirley Green. Want to say peace and blessings to you. Stephanie McMillan. Want to say peace and blessings to you. Who else do we have here? Sherelle Malone. Shalom to you. Pieces of me. Shalom to you as well. So peace. Appreciate you guys. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Dre Lee, want to say peace and blessings to you. So I got everyone. And if I didn't catch some of the names, please forgive me. Please, like the old school would say, do not charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, but not to my heart. So I really appreciate you guys. And so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I know we covered. I had to do our shout out, so I just wanted to start off with that. It's been a while since we've done that. So again, fathers no longer needed. And I'm going to encourage everyone, write these scriptures down. All right. Write these scriptures down. I'm going to share some great scriptures with you. I'm going to give you proper clarity. For some of you guys may not be familiar, or what's the forbidden fruit? What was the forbidden fruit? Uh, Adam and Eve partook, right? And we're going to discuss that. I'm going to give you proper clarity on exactly what those guys had done, but also we're going to get proper clarity on their roles and responsibilities. And again, we're going to also transition into another portion of emasculating the man. All right. And this is what we're witnessing today. All right. So for some of you guys that came in late, I'm going to go ahead and show just a partial portion of that clip one more time, just so you can get the illustration of the Bodhi tribe. And what they do is, as part of their culture, right, and part of a competition each year, the men, they just literally, just drink a lot of milk, blood milk, so that way they can have these pot bellies, right? Basically having the appearance of being pregnant, right? So I'm going to let you guys hear see the videos and listen to it carefully, and then we're going to do some get into the actual teaching. I'm going to show a couple of it real quick. Here we go.
Imagine your reaction when you find yourself in a tribe where beak is beautiful. Well, welcome to the Ethiopian Bodhi tribe, where men compete to be the fattest in the village by drinking concoctions, which they claim is a mixture of blood and milk, while living in isolation for 6 months. Slim might be the big deal elsewhere, but for Ethiopia's Bodhi or men tribe, the bigger the better is the case. Ethiopia is a land of many cultures that have been preserved despite Western civilization. Along the lower Omo Valley River in southern Ethiopia resides one of these kinds, the Bodhi tribe. The Bodhi people are neighbors to the Mercy tribe. The Bodhi people are agriculturalists who still engage in trade by barter system. These pastoral people revere their cows. Their cows are so special to them that its blood together with fresh milk is a source of food for these people. Rather than kill the cows, they make a hole in one of its veins to get the blood out and close it back with clay. These animals are also used in certain ceremonies. Among the ceremonies is the peculiar New Year celebration. At the start of each year, the month of June in the Gregorian calendar, they hold the Kyle ceremony of fat men, to mark the New Year celebrations. The Kyle ceremony is a competition for men who are not married, which involves drinking the blood mixture. Here is how it works. Young men are selected and fed special meals and concoction for 6 months, and after that, they emerge to show off their newly engorged physiques and for a better winner to be chosen. The champion fat man is then feted as a hero for the rest of his life. The food comes in the form of a cow's blood and milk mixture, served regularly to the men by women from the village. The cows are sacred to the Bodhi tribe, so they are not killed for the purpose of the ritual. The blood is drawn by making a hole in a vein with a spear or an axe, and after that, they close it with clay. Because of the scorching temperatures, the men have to drink the 2-liter bowl of blood and milk quickly before it coagulates. But not everyone can handle drinking so much at speed, so they vomit. These are the ones that are disqualified. On the D-Day, the men design their bodies with clay and ashes before emerging from their huts for the walk to the spot where the ceremony will take place. This long walk seems torturous, thanks to the excess weight gain and protruding stomach. The ceremony involves spending long hours walking in a circle around a sacred tree, watched by the other men and helped by women who ply them with alcohol and wipe away the sweat. Once the fastest man has been chosen, the ceremony ends with the slaughter of a cow using a big sacred stone. Village elders will then inspect the stomach and the blood to find out if the winner's future will be a bright one or not. After the ceremony, the men's lives return to normal and most of them lose their enormous bellies after a few weeks of eating sparingly. And a few weeks later, the next generation of competitively fat body men will be chosen and the cycle will repeat. Becoming a fat man is the dream of every body kid because he will remain a hero for life even though his stomach gets back to normal.
All right, so I want to show that here, and I want to be clear because This is where we have to be careful when we start understanding Pan-Africanism. And don't get me wrong, Africa as a continent, right, should have some type of alliance in terms of to counter the things that other nations are doing to basically, in a nutshell, take away or using up the resources, the natural resources there. But I want to be clear to you guys, right? Israel is part of the continent of what is called Africa of today, or Akibulan. But just because we say that we're from Africa does not equate to every culture, does not equate to every nation being connected, that we are sharing the same cultures. Israel has a culture that the Most High established for Israel and anyone that wants to become a citizen of Israel. Right? So I want to be clear. It's not trying to disrespect or down any other communities, but at the same time, just what I shared here with the Bodhi tribe, that's not the things that Israel should be indulging in. I can share with you some other clips from other tribes that are doing certain things, like washing their hair with the urine of a cow, or sticking their heads inside the the butt end, the back end of a cow. I could show you some stuff, or putting dung, I can show you those things. But just because it's from Africa does not mean that that is for us. That is not our culture, right? Our culture is Israel. And all those that say that they want to become citizens, notice what I said. If you want to be a citizen of Africa, I'm not Africa, citizen of Israel, excuse me. If you want to be a citizen of Israel, you have to what? Honor the law, statutes of and the commandments of the Most High. You have to take on the culture of the Israelites. And see, what Catholicism has taught is to mix and mesh. They've done that from the very beginning. When we start getting, especially going into the second century. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Fathers no longer needed. Fathers no longer needed. So let's embrace our culture. Let's embrace our culture, Israel. And for those that want to say, hey, you're Hamitic people, that you're descendant of Ham, that's fine. But guess what? If you're going to take on the culture of the Israelites, if you want to become a citizen of Israel, if you want to follow the Most High, right, you have to take on his covenant, his commandments, right? So again, I just want to put that disclaimer out there, just so that way, everyone that's listening, because sometimes when people think about the Israelites, they think that all Israelites hate Africa. They think that if we're making the distinction between Israel, which is in Akibulan, and other nations that the Most High told us to stay separate, or set apart from, doesn't mean that you're hating on that person. It's just that the Most High, or that culture, or that community, it's just that community, that culture is not for us. Right. I have family members I just avoid. Right. Some family members I just don't want to be around because of their lifestyle, because of what they do, the things that they indulge in. Doesn't mean that I hate or dislike my family. Doesn't mean that I don't love them. But at the same time, right, I know that I cannot let what they do jeopardize the things that the Most High has made me accountable for inside this household. So I want to stress that, family. That's how we need to articulate the narrative, because with the conscious community and other communities, they're trying to paint this picture that we hate Africans. Well, again, truth be told, Israel, the Middle East, is originally part of Akibulan. It sits on the same tectonic plate, and the Middle East is a 19th century creation. All right. So it's already late. So we got a lot to cover here. All right. So fathers no longer needed. Calculated emasculation. So let's start with the first question here. What is the first commandment that was given to man? Let me ask that question again. What is the first commandment that was given to man? All right. What is the first commandment that was given to him? And you guys, if you want, we can interact here. Type your comments in the comment section. You know, whatever commandment you think that the Most High had given to Adam, post it right in the comment section, and I'll post it on the screen here for you guys. So what was the first commandment that was given to Adam? What was the first commandment? All right. So I wish I had some Jeopardy music. I'll play it in the background, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have to update some of my sound effects. All right. I see Peacemaker Music. He posted here. Let's see here. Let me see. Peacemaker Music. No idolatry. Okay. Let's see here. Sister Carol put here to name the animals. Let's see here. Only by his grace, not to eat from the tree of good and evil. Okay. Let's see who else we have here. We have Talk Truth with Shawnee, to be like a custodian over the Garden of Eden, inspired identity, be fruitful and multiply. Let's see here. Peacemaker again said, serve Yah only. Paul Sticks, to take care of the garden. Okay. Jay Highstyle, be fruitful and multiply. All right. Let's see what else we have here before we go. Before I give you the answer, be fruitful and multiply. Jacob, thou shalt not another Allah before me. Okay. Guard until the ground by Hannah, who posted a comment here. Let's see here. Dre League said that, oh geez, I'm gonna check right quick. All right, I'm gonna cheat right quick, right? All right, be fruitful. All right, so let's go ahead and give the answer here, right? Want to say shalom to you as well. Appreciate you for tuning in tonight. All right, let's see here. All right, so let me go ahead and give you the answer. All right. And I want to give this answer. And when I give this answer, before I give the answer, I want you guys to understand this about Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. See, many have taken Genesis chapter 1 to believing that that is one creation process. And then chapter 2 is another creation process. That's absolutely incorrect. Genesis 1 gives us how can I put it? Gives the itinerary, right? It really itemizes what the Most High had created on each day of creation. But when we get to chapter 2, right? Technically, chapter 2 actually begins at verse 3, or actually verse 4. I'm just off the top of my head. This is where we see that Moses is giving more of a detailed depiction, a detailed understanding of what the Most High had done, especially on that sixth day that he created man. So these are not two different creations. They're one creation. All right. So let's go ahead and explain this. Let me pull the actual commandment that was given. Let me pull it up here right now. Let me give you the answer. All right. The very first commandment is found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. It says here, right? And Yahweh took Yaquak, the man, and put him into the Garden of Eden, Gan Adan, to dress it, Ibad, and to keep it, Shamar. That was his instructions. And notice there's so many nuggets inside here. I did this lesson. I'm gonna have to do that lesson again. Haven't done that lesson in probably about 7 to 8 years. Really going deeper into the origin of where the Most High created the very first man. But notice the key word here. And Yahweh took the man. This means that Adam was not created in the garden. This means that we see the first recorded pilgrimage, right? This is the first pilgrimage because the Most High created Adam in another place and led him to the garden, Gan Adan, right? In his responsibilities, he was instructed, he was commanded to dress it, Ibad, and to keep Shamar, the garden. So again, Adam was instructed to Ibad, dress, and also to Shamar, keep the garden. So let's go to the Hebrew definition of Abad, right? Which transliterates for the most part in your text will say till. But notice what it says here. It says to work, to serve, till, compel, do, execute, labor, servant, be servants, become servants. All right. So dress, ibad, means to also execute. Let me say that again. Dress also, or till also means execute. Family, that's what we're going to be judged on, is how we execute the instructions, the commandments that the Most High has given us. He's given us commandments, but he's also given us statutes in order to carry out those commandments. Statutes are instructions, especially for those that understand the legal system. There's over 50,000 federal laws, like 40, I believe, actually 5,000, federal laws. And there's over 48,000 statutes giving instructions on how to what? Carry out those laws. So the key that we all are going to be judged on is, did we execute the things that the Most High commanded us to do? All right. So dress, ibad, also means to execute, to till. So till, ibad, also, right, is synonymous to the word cultivate. And this is what cultivate means. Till, prepare for crops, raise or produce by tillage, care, labor, to till, to inhabit, practice, respect, right? So cultivate is synonymous to till, synonymous to what translates from the word, or translates from the word ibad, the Hebrew word ibad. So ibad, again, also means cultivate, right? And it goes on to say here, guard, dwell. Okay. And then it has figurative sense of improve by labor or study, devote one's attention to. So that's what cultivate means. So cultivate in a nutshell means to care. It means to labor. But also we have another word, which is culture. Ibad also means culture, right? This is the etymology dictionary definition of culture. It says the tilling of land, act of preparing the earth for crops, care, culture, and honoring. See, when you execute the things of the Most High, right, which is culture, the culture he's given us, guess what? We are honoring the Most High. That's how you honor the Most High. By what? Doing exactly what he told us to do, executing his instructions, right? It goes on to say tend, guard, act of promoting growth. Guess what? Adam's first initial responsibility was given to him that he had to what? Promote growth. Family, every last one of us, especially if you say that you are a leader, and guess what, men? We are supposed to be promoting growth. We're not supposed to be hindering anyone. We are supposed to be promoting growth. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be destroying, right? Even the Messiah said that we are to do what? Let the wheat grow with the tares. And then the angel, the messenger of the Most High, would sort it out, do the sorting out. But we are supposed to be what? Promoting growth. So Adam had to what? Promote growth from the very beginning. Right? So culture, ibad, means tilling of land, care, and honoring. So Adam was instructed to ibad, in other words, till, execute, cultivate, right? Honor the culture given to him by Yah. And Yah gave Adam a culture of what? Holiness. Because the Most High said everything at the end of the creation process. He said everything was good. So for those that try to explain inject the gap theory to try to explain the fall of Hasatan, because many would try to inject that into the Genesis chapter chapter 1 verse 2 is where they try to inject that, where it says, in the beginning the Most High created the heavens and the earth was without form or void, darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of the Most High moved. They try to use that portion right there to push what is called the gap theory. No, the Most High made it clear that everything was good. There was nothing tainted about his creation. All right. So again, Adam was instructed to till, in other words, execute, cultivate, honor the culture given to him by Yah. So Adam was also instructed to keep. And you see the Hebrew word shamar, keep. Let's see what shamar means. It says to hedge about, guard, to protect, attend to, look narrowly, observe, preserve, watchman. Let me say that again, shamar, to hedge about. In other words, being proactive. Family, we have to have some people that are proactive, that is watching over Yah's people. See, the garden wasn't some, 1 or 2 acre land. The garden was a region that the Most High had planted and placed Adam there. All right. So again, shamar, to hedge about. So Adam had to what? Proactively go to or from, watching and paying attention to what's going on in this region. So keep, shamar, means to hedge about, guard, protect, attend, look narrowly, observe, and also, in other words, discern. So let's go back to Genesis, right? Let's go back here. We're going to hit to verse 18, right? It says, and Yahweh said, it is not good. It is not good. La tawab. Some of you guys would say tob, but we're just dealing with the ancient pronunciation here. And Yahweh said, it is not good. La, not good. Tawab. That the man, the man, Adam, Yah, right, should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet, Izar, for him. So why did the Most High, why did Yahweh say that it is not good for the man to be alone? Well, let's walk this out, right? Let's walk this out. First, let's identify what alone means. Alone means having no one else present, on one's own. It goes on to say without others help, or participation, single-handed. So the Most High saw that Adam needed something. And what's so amazing, what's so incredible about this story, what I love about this story, Adam had no clue that he was missing something. See, a lot of times, especially when we have a good shepherd, when we have a good leader, when we, especially that's operating through the actual instruction and authority of the Most High. See, the Most High through his leaders, right? The leaders he'll use can see that there's something that's missing, that's needed, that you need, that you may not even see. Not use it as an opportunity to exploit you, but use it as an opportunity to encourage growth. Remember what we said. Cultivate also means what? Encouraging what? Growth. So alone, having no one else present, the sub-entry without others' help or participation, single-handed. So is this what Yahweh truly means in this verse? That man should not be alone? Is this what he's saying? Is it, a reason that all men should go out here and try to find somebody? No, or a woman trying to find her Boaz. No, that's not what this scripture fully means. And that's why I put yes and no. Let me give you another angle on understanding this text. It starts with understanding this word haya. Haya means to exist, be, become, come to pass, accomplish, right? But what stood out for me is faint, fall, quit oneself. Just understanding that alone will give you a whole nother perspective on actually what the Most High is saying that is not good for man to do. Now, let me bring it all together. Yahweh is actually saying that it's not good for man to give up, haya, to give up, break, become faint, fall, and quit from doing the work he was ordained to do by the Most High. So the Most High in this scripture is actually saying it's not good for man to quit. Men, it's not good for you to quit. It's not good to see a fighter quit. I'm not sure how you guys felt. I'm a little old school here. I felt some kind of way when I saw Mike Tyson lose his first fight. I felt some kind of way. Now, he did not quit in that fight, but I felt some kind of way when he quit on the Holyfield fight. I felt some kind of way when Galata quit on him. It's something about when you see a man quit, just doesn't set right on in your spirit, because we are supposed to execute. We're supposed to promote growth. It's never a good thing to see a man quit. It's not good. Not good for any of us to quit. But when you see the man quit, who's supposed to be the musician, who's supposed to play the music, that's going to dictate the songs that sang in your household, it's nothing like seeing a man quit. All right. So it is not good for a man to quit. So Eve, right? Think about it. Another thought I want to just kind of touch on real quick. Eve, Kawa, that's her ancient name, did not receive her name until after they had gotten into trouble. Adam decided to name her after they got kicked out of the house, after they got kicked out of the garden, because up until this point, he referred to her as being woman. So she took on the name as being mother of life. That's almost equivalent to baby mama. So let's go to Genesis again. Let's go back to Genesis, but we're going to highlight verse 20. It says, and Adam called his wife Ashath, in other words, named Eve, Kawa, because she was the mother of all living. Kaya. All right, so let's deal with the responsibility of Eve. Eve's responsibility, and I hope this helped you out, especially women. Eve's responsibility, right, to Adam was to keep him from giving up on his responsibilities. Let me say this again. Eve's responsibility, she had the responsibility not to be a slave, because many men will say, oh, help me means slave. No, Eve was not supposed to be a slave to anyone. She was not a baby making machine. Eve, her responsibility is to keep Adam from giving up on his responsibility. In other words, since she is the mother of life, she is what? To speak life. Women, you guys have the power of speaking life. You guys have the power of keeping someone from giving up. That's why when you look at the two Hebrew letters for the title Amma, right? Ama, right? The first letter, the alap, the second letter, mam or mayam, excuse me, right? That mayam means transition. It doesn't just mean water, it means transition. And see, women, you guys have the power of speaking life that can help the men, help your household make transitions. See, grandma, good at giving the right word at the right time to help you transition. So the Most High is giving you guys that power. Ama, right? So Ama, you have Abba, right? Which is father. You have Ama, which is mother. Okay. So the name Eve, Kawa, it means to live, by implication, to declare or show, to tell, declare, make known. Make known. So Eve was given the power to declare life. Kai. She was given the power to declare life. Adam was given the power to put a name, a label on that life. Yeah, I hope y'all grab hold of this. Right? Adam had the power, right? He has the power to give names. Why Eve had the power to give life, speak life. See, this is why many women get upset. A lot of women get upset when men call you a name, because many of you deep down inside know that there's some truth to what that man says. Because men are good with labels. We were given the gift to label, right? Put labels on things by way of discernment. But women have the gift again of what? Speaking life. So Adam was given the power to put a name on life, a name based upon what he discerned of the appearance that he saw of the creatures. Let's go back to Genesis. Excuse my slides being out of whack with the name, the numbering, but verse 19, and out of the ground, Yahweh formed every beast, Yatzar of the field, and every fowl, Awap of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see, Ra'ah, to see what Adam will call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name, that was the label, that was the title given to them. So the Most High sat back and watched how Adam would operate, discern, and then come up with an accurate label or title of the creations. So Yah brought every creature into Adam to see, which means Ra'ah, which means discern. See, this is the key. Men, discernment. That's the gift. We have the gift of discernment, while the woman had the gift of what? Speaking life. So what, again, Yahweh brought every creature into Adam to see which, in other words, to see Ra'ah, which means discern what Adam would call them. So Adam mastered name calling. Let me say that again. Adam mastered name calling. Can I say that one more time? Adam mastered name calling. And J High Style, this is for you.
What?
Yeah, Adam mastered name calling. But guess what? Eve had to master speaking life. So Adam had all of the creation to perfect his gift. He had all the animals to perfect his gift with. But Eve had one Adam to perfect her gift of speaking life. Eve had to master speaking life through one Adam. Now together, right? They had to what? Share the responsibility to encourage each other. Eve had one Adam and Adam had one Eve. The two came together to be what? To be what? One Akkad. 1 times 1 does not equal 2. And according to the mathematics of the Most High, 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. In a relationship, the math of the Most High is 1 plus 1 equals 1. That's the mathematics of the Most High to some of the 5%ers that are out here.
What?
So many of our people, their math is off. All right. Their math is off. Right. 1 divided by 1, according to the Most High, well, man's law of mathematics, 1 divided by 1 equals 1. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 4 divided by itself equals 4. But in the Most High's math, 1 divided by 1 will always be more than 1. It's at least 2. Why? Because you have a division. So according to the mathematics of the Most High, man's math is flawed. All right. So Eve again had to master speaking life through one Adam. Every day, Eve, Hawa, had the opportunity to encourage Adam not to quit by speaking life. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14. Let's pull this up here real quick. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. See, Adam was not deceived. He rebelled. Adam was not deceived because he knew he received direct instructions by the Most High. So Eve had to depend on what Adam said to her. Okay, so Eve, Hawa, was deceived. So Eve was enticed and persuaded to speak the doctrine of giving up. Let me say that again. Eve was enticed and persuaded to speak the doctrine of giving up. Let me give clarity on that. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. It says, death, mawath, and life, kayam, are in the power, yad, of the tongue. Lashon or lashawan in this particular text. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now we get an understanding of what the forbidden fruit is. It wasn't an apple, it wasn't a peach, it wasn't any of that. That forbidden fruit is conversation. That's why it says death and life. And it goes on and close out by saying, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So death and life are in the power of the tongue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So the forbidden fruit that Eve ate is conversation. That's the forbidden fruit. Both Adam and Eve ate this forbidden fruit, which is the tongue, which is the conversation. Right? Eve had a forbidden conversation, a conversation she should not have had with Hasatan. So she took that conversation of quitting and brought it to Adam. And what happened? Adam indulged in the conversation instead of what? Casting it down. Instead of casting it down, he ate the fruit. He indulged in the conversation. Then later we see the Most High looking for Adam. Adam, where are you, man? Where are you? Why? Because Adam decided to create his own Shabbat. He decided to take an untimely day of rest. He created his own Shabbat. which we see happening right now. Adam took a day off. He quit on the Most High. That's why the Most High had to look for Adam. Adam, where are you, man? You're not at our meeting spot. So I could walk with you. As they go, as Adam proactively go through the garden to protect it. But he didn't show up. He quit. And not only did he quit, he put the blame on the woman, not Eve, the woman. Then the woman put the blame on Hasatan. Adam never owned up to his, well, I'm not going to say never. At the moment, he did not own up to his responsibilities at that moment. All right. So Adam got caught up in the conversation as well. All right, family, this is another test for you guys, right? Don't look at your books. Don't go to the Bible. You guys should be able to quote this. What does the Bible say about honoring parents? Just type the answer real quick inside the comment section. What does our Dabar HaKodash, what does it say about honoring our parents? Just go ahead and type it in. All right, you guys shouldn't be cheating on this. Now, what does it say? If you could quote it off the top of your head, just type it in real quick. What does it say? Honor who and who? What does the scripture say? All right. We got let's see what we have here. We have, let's see if you guys are correct. All right, we see, let's start with, all right, Peacemaker music, honor mom and pop, right? Dre Lee, honor them. Honor them so that your day honor. J High Style, honor thy mother and thy father. Let's see what else we have here. Israelite wife, honor your father and mother. Sister Carol, honor thy mother and thy father. All right, let's see here. Okay, now here's another one. Honor thy mother and thy father. Let's see here. Honor your father and your mother. Guess what? This is a simple one, but I'm going to show you just real quick, family. Anyone who typed in, honor thy mother and father, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. I'm going to tell you that you are wrong. That's not what the scripture says. But that also gives you an understanding of just how much damage, how much deception, how much poor doctrine that we as a people was subjected to. The scripture does not tell us to honor thy mother and thy father. It doesn't say that. But let me show you what the scripture says. Let's go to the scriptures. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Notice what it says. See the order. See the order. Honor thy father, Ab-Yah, or Abba, and thy mother, Amma, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee. See, what we've been hacked, we all have been hacked. We have all been hacked by way of the transatlantic world war, by way of the Willie Lynch letter, which I'm going to share with you shortly, to disregard the father, put the father out of order, put the mother number one, and the father that the mother, the women at that time and still today is to honor is the white man, the Caucasian. This right here, I have done this icebreaker a number of times. You'd be surprised when I first did this icebreaker how the entire assembly got it wrong. And literally Some of them got upset until I said, show me what the Bible said. See, we've been indoctrinated. We just in the response right here tells you and shows how we've been hacked. And even in that, this is why many of us struggle to put the Most High number one. Because we've been indoctrinated to put the Father second. When actually the very first word that you will learn in ancient Hebrew is Father, Abba. The first letter is Alap. The second letter is the Bayath, which forms the very first word that you will learn. Most babies, 9 times out of 10, is going to say what? Are they going to say Dada? Are they going to say Mama? All right. So I hope you understand this. I hope you guys grab and hold of this. That's right. Daddy gets the big piece of chicken, right? That's Chris Rock right there. Dad, he only good for getting the one big piece of chicken. So matter of fact, let me put a 3-piece out here for those that have hacked into our DNA to cause us to have everything out of whack when it comes to understanding the family. Let me give a 3-piece. All right, let's toss it out. All right. So this is why we're walking through. We're doing the walkthrough because I want to make sure that you guys understand from the very beginning the order that the Most High has put in place. Why we see a lot of the behaviors, why we struggling the way that we are struggling with as a community. While we seeing no matter what community it is, whether it's the conscious community that consists of the Moors and the Kemet guys and all that, regardless of what religious system we see among our community, we still see the struggle of what? Honoring the father and honoring the mother, because the women is being exploited. All right. So the Hebrew definition of honor, let's see what it means, right? It says, in a good sense, numerous, rich, honorable. The key is glorified. All right. This word can be synonymous to sham, which transliterates to the word name. Sham means that transliterates to name, could be a literal title, but it also means reputation, character, glory. So kabod. All right. So let's go to the Merriam Dictionary definition of honor. This is what it says. High respect, not just respect, but what? A high respect, great esteem. We're supposed to have high respect for the father and for the mother. We're supposed to have a high respect, a high regards to them, a great esteem for the titles that we see here. Before you see the word pastor, you see the word father. Before you see the word pastor, you see the word mother. Before you see bishop, you see father. Before you see bishop, you see mother. Before all those other titles, the first titles that you see here that every child is going to be taught to honor is the father and the mother. All right. And that's why it's a struggle for many of us who grew up without a father, because now our example of a father can be convoluted. Whether, and also if you grew up with a father that was not in his proper place. Okay. So it goes on to say here, right? Sub-entry number 1, a person or thing that brings credit, brings credibility. Sub-entry number 2, a title of respect given. But then we see entry number 2, adherence to what is right, or to a conventional standard of conduct. So when we honoring our father and our mothers, we are what? Showing that we are what? Being in compliance to what is right. I hope you guys grab hold of this. Here we go. Let's go to the next one here. How important is family? All right. How important is family? And if you guys on a scale of 1 to 10, right? That's the rating. 1 to 10. How important is family? Just put it in the comment section. How important is family? How important is family? That's right. That's right. Family should be a high priority. 10. We should see all 10s. All right. But I can understand if some post it lower because unfortunately, many of us were subjected to a poor example of what a family is supposed to be. All right. And I'm going to do a lesson on family, right? I'm going to do an entire lesson on heritage, a lesson that I taught for 3 years straight. Any of those that are in our assembly, they can almost quote that lesson because I taught the same lesson for 3 years straight. Jay Highstyle, my buddy. No, man, I'm not trying to trick anyone, right? So we see family. The Hebrew word here is mashpaka, right? So I'm going to say mashapaka because pronouncing every Hebrew letter as a syllable and dropping the last ah. And you see the connector here. So you can say mashpaka or you could say mashapaka, right? And you see the primitive root word is what? Masha, right? Which means this word also translates to the word Moses, the title, but guess what? Coming out of the water. Anyway, let me not go too geek mode on you guys. So how important is the family? The family is of vital importance. The family was the first institution formed on this earth. Allah created the first man and woman, Adam and Eve, and they became man and wife. Then Eve bore a son, and no, Eve did not have an inappropriate sexual, or should I say intimacy, with the serpent. Cain is not the serpent's son, biological son. And we're going to clear that up as well. So the first family was formed, created as the most important institution, as the foundation of all human life and development that was to follow. So what is a father? Now you see Abba or Abai or Abya, right? Abaya or Abya, the ancient pronunciation of it. So what is a father? We see here a father is chief, right? Originator, the patriarch. So what is a father? What is the responsibility? What is the role and responsibility of the father? These 3 letters is going to describe it. I should have put I didn't put the yod in here. My apologies. And remember, the yod means redemption. It means outstretched arms. So what is the role and responsibility of the father? Let's define it with the Hebrew letters. Family, you learn these Hebrew letters. Man, it'll help you tremendously in understanding key words. And if any one of you guys want to get a copy of my spreadsheet, I put a spreadsheet together. I literally took the time out and did a lot of cross-referencing of the text to make sure I give you an accurate account of what each letter means. So feel free to send me an email and I'll send you a copy of the PowerPoint with some key words on there. Names of the each book of the Bible from an ancient Hebrew pronunciation. I put the ancient language there. And I put the Israeli pronunciation of it there as well. So again, the numerical value of alap is what? 1. reminding us that the father is supposed to be number one. But we see here leadership, strength, power, teach, authority. So that very first letter tells us that a father is supposed to be able to lead, supposed to be able to provide strength, power, operating the power, the authority of the Most High, teach. And guess what? For the Hebrew word for mother, Ama, this is the first letter, because a mother is supposed to be able to lead. A mother is supposed to have strength. The mother is supposed to have that power. A mother is supposed to be able to teach. But it's once you get to the second letter, you see a difference between Ama versus Abba. Ama, right? The responsibility of the mother is what? Transition. We see leader, strength, power, teach, but then transition, speaking life. But let's go to the Bayath. In the Israeli language, it's pronounced Beth. And let's see what it says. Numerical value is 2. Right? What's interesting, when you add 1 plus 2 equals 3, which you get the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet is what? The Gamal, which means maturity. Anyway, so we see here the numerical value is number 2. This letter means house, family, bloodline, right? This letter right here, if you turn it around like I did here, it will look like a tabernacle, a tent, a mashkan. And then when we look at the ancient, right, or should I say the pictograph, it looks like an aerial view of the tabernacle, an aerial view of the temple and the Holy of Holies right at the center. So again, Adam's additional responsibility aside from, as we see here, leader. In other words, leading, strength, power, teach. He also had to what? Be responsible for the house, lead the house, be the leader of the family, be responsible for the bloodline, maintaining the bloodline. That's why we see in the scripture that how can I put it? The heritage of the child is identified by way of the father. All right. So now let's go to Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22, the importance of a father. That's not the word. I didn't put it up here. Sorry, family. I didn't put it up here. But what I was supposed to put up here was train up a child in the ways that they should go. All right. So, and when they are older, they will not depart. So my apologies for the typo, the misinformation on the presentation. Right. So I'm going to have to place that blame. Somebody got to take the blame tonight. So I'm going to have to put the blame on Truth Talk with Shawnee. Somebody has to take the blame. All right. So everyone, for my slide being messed up tonight, let's give the blame to Truth Talk with Shawnee. Let's give Shawnee the blame.
Somebody better call the doctor.
Had to give you that special award. All right. Had to pull out Afro Thunder. Okay. All right. So let me show you another thing about Adam. When you understand heritage, because we think of heritage or inheritance as being money. And I'm going to deal with all of that before we get to the next phase of this teaching. So Adam's sons, right? What was the professions of Adam's sons? All right. You see the question up on the board here, up on your screen. What was the professions? What was the professions, the skill set of Adam's sons? Real quick, don't cheat, you guys. Don't cheat. Just type it up inside the comment section. What was the professions? All right. What was their professions? All right. What was their professions? All right, Sister Carol, you're supposed to be setting this example. Sister Carol, you cheating. All right. Let's see. Tide Wilson, tiller of the ground. Okay. All right. Let's see. Farmer, hunter, shepherd, gardener. Okay. Farmer, shepherd, hunter, herder, tiller. All right. Okay. All right. So let me reveal it to you. You guys are giving some great answers. Appreciate you guys for participating here. We're having a great time here on a Saturday night. Right? Here it is. So let me bring it up here. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4, verse 2. Right? It says here, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Now, let's not put any colloquialism over this when it says Abel was a keeper, right? This is not saying Abel looked good, all right? I want to make it clear. Let's not put any slang over it, all right? But anyway, but Abel was a keeper. Cain was a tiller. Let me say that again. Abel was a keeper, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Let's investigate this more. Let me share some observations of this whole thing here. Just that passage that I just shared. Abel was a keeper. So remember, keep means it's the Hebrew word shamar, which means to hedge about, guard, protect, attend to, look narrowly, observe. Right? So the younger brother had the responsibility of guarding, protecting, hedging about, attend to, look narrowly, observe. But then we see Cain, he was a tiller, right? He was a tiller. Remember, till means execute. Dress, ibad, which translates to also synonymous to till. He had the responsibility of executing. The older brother had the responsibility of executing. So which skill set between the two is more honorable? Which one had the more honorable skill set? All right, just type your answers in real quick. All right, let's see your answers real quick. Which profession is more honorable, a tiller or a keeper? All right, let's see some answers here. Tiller. All right. Execute. Okay. Abel, tiller. All right. Ty posted keeper. Ernest posted keeper. Okay. Appreciate the participation, guys. You guys doing a great job. All right. Got some great answers here. All right. Yah's son, both. Right? Jacob, both. All right. Let's put the answer up. Both professions are honorable. Both professions are honorable, family. Both professions are honorable. Both are required. You can't have one without the other. So both professions are honorable. Both professions came through Adam. See, this gives you a glimpse of just how good of a father Adam was in spite of his shortcoming, right? Adam taught both of his sons a profession, a skill set. He gave them a heritage, an inheritance of skill sets. He passed down his skill sets to his sons. See, Adam, remember, his skill set was what? To dress, abad, and to keep the garden, Gan Adan. So Adam, being a great father, he taught both his sons his profession. He split the responsibilities up among his sons. All right? So it's more than just passing money down. It's teaching them a skill set that they can go and eat. Taught them how to fish, not just having one meal of asking, hey, can I get that fish sandwich? No, he taught them how to go fishing so that way they can eat continuously. They were taught their profession by their father. Adam also taught his sons how to worship, how to walk, and talk with Yah. Let me say that again, right? Adam, he also taught his sons how to worship, how to walk, and how to talk with the Most High. Let me show you here. Genesis chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, Karah? And why is thy countenance Panyak or Panayak? In other words, his face. Why is his face? Right? We start off with the paw, which mouth. Now we start getting into the face. Now we're getting into what is overall appearance. Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? Right? So why? Napal. Why? Napal, fallen. Napal means fallen. So here was the take that you take out of this particular verse is that the Most High and Cain are having a discussion, and Adam is not anywhere among them. So this tells you that Cain trained and taught his sons, taught his children how to have a relationship with the Most High. He taught them how to do the burnt offerings because the Most High taught Adam how to do the burnt offerings, and he taught his sons the same thing. That's how they learned how to do sacrifices. That's how they learned how to do offerings. So here, Cain is having a conversation, a direct conversation with the Most High. Adam is not in the business. So this tells you that Cain honored, or not Cain, but but Adam honored and understood the importance of teaching his sons how to communicate, how to have a personal relationship with the Father, because we see it right here. All right. Verse, did I put 7? I think that's off. Yeah, that is off. But nevertheless, the next verse, it says, if thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So the Most High is having a discussion, a direct discussion with Cain, because Cain is not understanding that his roles and responsibilities is important. Executing, being a cultivator, teaching growth, promoting growth. So here, Cain is having a problem with executing the instructions. So the Most High is saying to him, Cain, come on, man. If you're not careful, if you don't shake this thing off, that sin is going to overtake you. Shake it off. Sin lieth at the door. Pathak. Shake it off. And unto thee shall be his desire. Who? Hasatan, right? The desire of Hasatan. Thashakwath, or Thashawakwath, however you want to pronounce it. And unto thee shall be his desire, right? His. Who's the his? That's Hasatan. Remember, the Messiah said to Peter, he said, Hasatan desires. In other words, it's making a request to sift you as wheat. But he said, I'm praying for you, Peter, that your faith, you do not fail with your faith. You do not fail with being consistent. You do not fail with being permanent. You do not fail with your trust. You do not fail with your belief. You do not fail with understanding how to go to the right hand. And I just gave you the definition for what Aman means. All right. So Adam was very active in properly teaching his sons. We just proved that. Adam did not apply. This scripture doesn't apply to Adam right here, but a lot of men, the scripture can apply to. A lot of parents, starting with the men. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. See, how many of us were provoked to wrath is because we did not have our fathers there. And many of us had to carry a lot of hatred, a lot of bitterness, because not having that father figure there. So it says here, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of Yahweh. All right. So again, fathers no longer needed. All right, guys. That's part one. That's part one. All right. So we're going to transition to part two. I'm going to drop the link inside the comment section, but we're going to transition into part two. We're going to talk a little bit about part two of this lesson, right? That's session one, all right, of this lesson. Block one, if we want to put it that way. And I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Right? So I dropped the link here. So if any one of you guys want to jump in, feel free. Right? And if you want to share your thoughts on what we just talked about, and let's be respectful. Let's remember we have people watching us. All right. We have a cloud of witnesses watching us. Okay. So I dropped the link inside the comment section. All right. So let's go into another portion. We can't get it all in tonight. We'll get as much as we can. We're doing pretty good. We just hit just little after 8. I'm just kidding, not 8, but 12 is 12:08. So let's touch on a few more things. All right. Let's deal with the emasculation. But before we go forward, we got Ali G here. Let me bring him on. Hey, blessings, brother. How are you? Oh, looks like he fell off. All right. All right. Looks like Ali G fell off. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and transition to the next part of this lesson. Are fathers necessary? We're going to answer this question. Are fathers necessary? Now, this is coming from an article, right? This presentation that I'm giving, I gave this presentation a while back, years and upon years ago, right? So with that being said, I want to read this article that's part of this presentation. Okay, this is what it says. The title is Are Fathers Necessary? Now, guys, pay attention. Now, I'm dealing with the emasculation of the man. I'm going to show you it's a calculated emasculation of the men in our community. Notice, and this is just a bullet from it. Most of the data fail to distinguish between a father and the income a father provides, or between the presence of a father and the presence of a second parent. Regardless of gender, the quality of parenting Bill Blars and Stacy say is what really matters, not gender. So they're saying the quality of parenting matters, but not gender. But the real challenge to our notion of the essential father might well be the lesbian mom. On average, lesbian parents spend more time with their children than fathers do. All right, so let me read this again. This is an article stating that a lesbian mother is better than a biological, better than an actual man. That's the question that they ask. Are fathers necessary? Let me read just a couple of bullets from this post again. Most of the data fail to distinguish between a father and the income of a father provides, or between the presence of a father and the presence of a second parent. Notice the wording here. Regardless of gender, the quality of parenting, Bill Blars and Stacy say, these are two women, is what really matters, not gender. So they're saying the quality of parenting outweighs the gender. But the real challenge to our notion of the essential father might well be the lesbian mom. On average, lesbian parents spend more time with their children than fathers do. So that article is attempting to downplay the importance of a father, as we see what's happening today. So what is heritage, family? What is heritage? What is heritage? All right, I'll drop the link one more time. If you guys are able to jump in, that's fine. If not, I understand. We'll go a little longer anyway, because I may not even be able to get into this whole portion right here. But I'm reaching close to a stopping point here. So what is heritage? Let's go to the Oxford Dictionary definition of heritage. Let's see what it says. It says valued objects, such as what? And qualities such as cultural traditions, unspoiled countryside, historic buildings that have been passed down from previous generations. Let me see if I put it here. No, I didn't put it in there. The scripture that you can highlight, and I taught this today in our Shabbat, not today, but yesterday in our Shabbat class, I taught about what heritage is. What is the objects here, the valued objects. The valued objects, you can go to Genesis chapter 10. Land, family, and language or tongues. Lashan. That is the valued objects. That's what defines a nation. And those are valued objects when we speak about heritage. Adam passed down cultural traditions. In other words, responsibilities to being a tiller and a what? Keeper to his sons. Heritage. So there is an all-out attack on heritage, family. There is an all-out attack on heritage. Over time, there have been a number of systems created to systematically reduce the importance of the father. These systems their primary agenda is to attack the identity of the family through the fathers. Let me show you here. I'm going to show you the importance, right? The playbook here, Matthew chapter 12, verse 29. It says, or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So take out the man. Then you'll be able to what? Siege the house. All right. Let's start with another thing. Let's transition to another thing that I haven't touched on in a while. How one of the tools that are being used and still to this day, race. This is one of my favorite sources here that I've been using this for years on top of years, by Audrey Smetley, who is an anthropologist, right? And she wrote this article for PBS, Race, the Power of an Illusion. So let's touch on this briefly. So this is a couple of notes from her article. It says, contemporary scholars agree that race was a recent invention and that it was essentially a folk idea, not a product of scientific research and discovery. This is not new to anthropologists. So this is telling you the anthropologists laugh because anytime we say I'm a black man or that white man or brown, they laugh because these are constructs that was created by what? The invention called the institution of race. Many of our brothers and sisters were holding on to a color descriptor quicker. They'll fight for that color descriptor, but not fight for their identity, not fight for their nationality, not fight to understanding truly who they are. All right. So we got Shawnee here. Hey, Shawnee. Hey, I'm gonna explain this portion real quick, and then I'll let you chime in. Okay.
Okay, Pastor. I'm going to mute while you're talking.
Okay. All right. So contemporary scholars agree that race was a recent invention, that it was essentially a folk idea, not a product of scientific research and discovery. This is not new to anthropologists. The term race, which had been a classificatory term like type or kind, but with what? Ambiguous meaning, generic meaning, universal meaning, became more widely used in the 18th century and crystallized into a distinct reference for Africans, and it gives some other groups there. I didn't put it all there. But it also says another key bullet I want to highlight from that article. It says, by focusing on the physical and status differences between the conquered and enslaved peoples and the Europeans. So the conquered and enslaved peoples are in one group. The Europeans is in another group. Want to make sure that there's a line drawn between the conquered, enslaved, and those that did the conquering. So the emerging ideology linked the socio-political status and physical traits together and created a new form of social identity. This is why so many of the values within our community are misplaced. This is why, quite naturally, when we say, just the question I asked, what does the scripture says about honoring our parents? We default by saying honor the mother first because of what? They created a new form of social identity, a whole different structure. Let's see here. Derora asked the question here. Is Hebrew ethnicity or nationality? Well, you can say it's both, right? You can say it's both. You can say it's both. All right. But great question. See how we, take it out of context. The scriptures is when many poorly teach Apostle Paul, when Apostle Paul said Israel of the Most High. Right? There's no spiritual Israel. There's a physical Israel, right? And others can what? Become citizens among the Israelites. See, anyone that's teaching that there's a spiritual Israel, they are dealing with replacement theology, period. Paul was not referring to a spiritual Israel. He was that term. So we come up with all kinds of descriptors and try to backdate them. All right. But come on, Sister Shawn, let me bring you on in. Let me set this here. We'll just stop right here with the lesson because it is getting kind of late. We're pushing almost 12:30. So how you doing tonight, sis? And I'll put the link inside the comment section again for those that want to join in. All right, you still there, Sister Shawnee?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Shalom to you, Pastor. Shalom to everyone in the chat. I am blessed, Pastor, and I'm even blessed the third time hearing this lesson because I watched it last week when you was teaching on it, and I had the opportunity to speak to you on the phone, and you gave me even more clarity. So I'm blessed now, even hearing it now. I learned something new, and that's one thing I will say. I always learn something new from you, Pastor Kelly, and I'm grateful for it. But the one thing I wanted to touch on that you spoke on in the beginning when you were speaking about our people and Africa, and you were right with what you were saying, but our people, you know, because we say Africa so much, we only think about that one part of the continent. And we don't realize that, you know, the little space that they're calling Asia now, or they want to call the Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and stuff like that. We don't realize that that's exactly where our people came from. Because in Genesis 10 and 30, Yah told you that he put Shem in the territory of Misha. And when you study the ancient maps and when you see what Misha is northern east Saudi Arabia, it's southern east Iraq, it's southern east Iran. And then when you study that area, you'll see that according to the scriptures in Genesis chapter 10, verse 30, and then when you read Genesis chapter 11, you will see that Shem and his descendants, they migrated and they stayed in between the land with two rivers. What rivers are we talking about here? We're talking about the Tigris and the Euphrates. And not only that, but guess what's up there in that area? The river Hittikal. The same river Hittikal that came out of the Garden of Eden that Daniel told you he was standing next to outside of the garden when Messiah came to visit him with the two angels. And, you know, I just thank you, Pastor, that you pointed that out tonight and you showed that there is a difference. But I just wanted to, not take away from what you did. I wanted to add to it because a lot of times we say Africa, 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 and we don't realize we migrated into that part of Africa. We do not come from that part of Africa. And that whole area is considered Mesopotamia. So I just wanted to say that. I was so blessed by what you were saying tonight. I have a whole sheet full of, I was writing down what you were saying that I'm going to talk to you about later on. But also, too, I wanted to point out real quick, I thank you for setting the order that Yah had established in the earth with his earthly family. Because when a woman tries to presume the position of a man, you're out of order. The family's not going to work. When a man tries to step back or sit back and he takes on the position of the woman and let her do everything, he's out of order. How can the children learn from that? You're going to have a mess. You're going to have a hot mess going on there. But when we follow the order that Yah has put in place, we see it even being fulfilled in Messiah Yeshua. Because you have Yah, you have Yeshua. Who's under Yeshua? You are as the man. Who's under you? Sister, Elder Serena, right? And then your children. When you have that order that's in line with Yah, then you have all the blessings that come with that. But when it's out of order and when it's out of whack and everybody's running amok, that's when you have disorder and you have divorce. We cannot step out of the order, the place, the ranking that Yah has put us in and think that we're going to be successful, because you will not. You're in disobedience when you do things like that. Thank you, Pastor, for your time.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, sis, for your input. And that's the one thing that I taught this in our assembly about the importance of family. It's not in this lesson, but showing how each household can have an effect on the overall nation. Mm-hmm. Right? When we go all the way down,
yes, sir.
and understand how Israel was attacked. Excuse me. The attack went all the way down to household.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
it
can't
did.
have a nation without land, family, and tongues, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then within that nation, you have the tribes.
Right.
And within those tribes, you have what? Different clans, different groups.
Yes, sir.
And even within those groups, you have what? A household. And within that
sir.
household, it's identified as father and mother.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
if
Yes, sir.
a group or if a household gets affected, right? If a household gets out of place, it can affect the overall continuity of the community.
Yes, sir.
And we see that played out with Achan.
Mm-hmm.
His household was causing
Definitely.
all of Israel to lose a war that they should have easily been able to win.
That's right.
Causing embarrassment not just to his household, but also to Judah.
That's
and
right.
not only to Judah, but to the entire all 12 tribes, and ultimately had he and his family blotted out because of his sins.
That's right. And to speak to what you're saying, and that is 100% correct, because when they were called to come, tell them how they was called, Pastor Kelly.
That's right. They gave him right the whole order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The whole order.
Mm-hmm.
The entire order in the proper order, as we just pointed out.
That's right. By tribes, by houses, by the houses of your father. That's right. It's just beautiful what you shared with us tonight, and I thank you.
Mine, but appreciate it, sis. Appreciate it. Anything else you want to share with the people before we wrap up?
No, outside of the fact that I learn something new every time I speak with you, and I'm grateful for it.
Mine. Appreciate it. Well, family, we're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap tonight. I know that I have more that I can teach, but this is a great stopping point, because if I taught the second block, we'll probably be here till about 1:30, 2 o'clock, because it's just that detailed. And I don't want to rush over any portion of this lesson, because it's going to lead us right up to Lil Nas, and also the 3 video clips I shared earlier with the Bodhi tribe about the bellies. I'm going somewhere with that. And I'm going to show you, give you clarity on a few things, and we do the next lesson. All right. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. So again, family, let's make sure that we do our part and get properly educated. Start really getting back to the basics, right? And we see that it's not hard. It's pretty simple to get back to the basics. Once you start getting that basic understanding, everything else will start lining up the way that it should. All right. So with that being said, appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight, and share the video. If you have any comments, feel free to reach out, post your comments in the comment section, hit the like and subscribe. Also, again, if you want to get a copy of that chart, send me an email to wearewokenow@gmail.com. Actually, the email address is in the ticker that's at the bottom of your screen. So I'll let it go by again so you can see it again. As you see here, wearewokenow@gmail.com. All right. So appreciate your family. We're going to do this. We're going to do part 2. We'll do the part 2 next weekend, same time. I was going to say same bat time, same bat channel, same bat station. I was getting my Batman on here. All right. Just thought I'd put a little humor up in it. I had to give him a little Batman on, but appreciate you guys. As Moses said to the children of Israel, you going to say something, prophetess?
No, I was just waiting to say amen after you got done giving out the closing scripture.
All right. So as Moses said to the children of Israel, as they were what seemed to be a dead end in front of them, as they came to what seemed to be a dead end, and they began to get distraught, they began to complain. Moses, at the instructions of the Most High, told Moses to say these words to the people: "Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh." These Egyptians that you see today, you will never have to see them again, ever again. They will not have power over you. They'll still exist, but not have power over you. The Most High will fight for you, but you have to hold your peace, right? In other words, in the proper translation of that text, be quiet, right? So we have to learn how to be quiet. Can't go back, can't stay here, keep moving forward. I'll say it one more time. Can't go back, can't stay here, keep moving forward. Shalom.